You're back at the lab. It's Wednesday. We're at lockdown level 2 now. Auckland's still level 3. Sorry about that, guys. So, in the background there, that yesterday's video, I said, it's just one of those vehicles that you put your foot on the pedal and it goes to the floor. Some vehicles are like that, right? So you can sit there idling and you can get your foot slowly goes to the floor. Some of them are just that way. When you blank off the entire system, you've got just the master cylinder there. It shouldn't really happen. And dun dun dun. So brand new part on the Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol, not Paw Patrol, the band. Spent a bit of time on that, trying to get that right, trying to reduce that as much as possible. Loop this back around, let her up. Pedal goes to the floor. Shouldn't happen. Nah. 3 to 5 seconds, pedal hard to the floor. Faulty part. Oh dear. So, I mean, that happens, and I'm not grizzling about the supplier or the brand or whatever. It's just one of those can go wrong. And it has. So I'm going to pop that apart and just have a look to see what's going on, just out of interest. We've got a pretty good relationship with the supplier. They trust me. So we'll have a look and we'll see what's going on. Not sure where that's just come from. It's not leaking there. It's not leaking out of the cylinder, but I believe it's looping around inside somehow. So I'm going to whip that out and have a look and see what's going on. Anyone who wanted to know what's inside of one of those, there's some of those. Spring things, seals, pistons, more spring, more seals. What was in there? This might be a bit hard to see. This is brake cleaner, brake and parts cleaner, and also some brake fluid in there. See the debris in there? That's 3 bits that I can see quite easily just here through my screen. There's actually a lot more that's a lot harder to see. So that's a bad start. There's contamination in there. Guaranteed it was clean fluid that was in there. It was brand spanking new, and it went in through its filter type thing. Well, I mean, there's not really even a filter on this one, is it? But it was clean filter, clean fluid that went in there. All it takes is a little bit of shite like that to sit on the edge of a seal, and you have problems. Could be what we were dealing with. Lo and behold, the first thing I picked up, gave it a bit of a wipe with the rag, the paper towel actually. I can see it in person. I'm just rolling it around to see if you can see it on the screen. Where's it gone? There it is. Look at that. Damaged seal. Now see how I didn't swear there? I was very tempted to. So much time. And in the end it was like, I just can't guarantee that master cylinder's right. We need to check it. And it wasn't right. She definitely was faulty. Is it too early to have a vodka? It's 11:45. I reckon I've earned one. I haven't had one for months, since the first lockdown. So it's one damaged seal. What's this one like? No, that one's okay. Wow. There you go. Doesn't always go according to plan, guys. So that's how it works out. No grizzles. Who knows how that's happened? I've done everything by the book, and bad luck. Mexican tequila Friday at the factory or whatever it was. I don't know. So there's another one on its way, I believe. I'll talk to my supplier. No gripes with them. I'll let them know. I mean, if they've got a seal kit, we can just do that. We actually just need the one seal. It's probably all it needs, and she'll be fixed, and we'll go and we'll get this right. Alright, just talk to the supplier again, and yeah, there's another one coming. It's coming from, I think it was Tauranga. It's a tomorrow thing. It won't be here today. So at this point, I don't know. I could put the original one back in the vehicle just to move it. It should take 5 minutes to pop that back in. Push the pistons back, it'll bleed it enough that it'll be okay to shift it outside and back in again tonight. So we'll finish that one off tomorrow. In the meantime, we can either do things on this. There's a few things I want to do on that. Or we can pop the bonnet on this and just work on this and just leave that where it is. That might be a better idea. I'm sure the fellas involved with this will be happy to see that. Let's do that. Let's do this idle control thing that I was doing. Let's do that. Go have some lunch first. Not a liquid lunch. I don't think I'll have a vodka. It's bloody tempting. Do this idle control system and go from there. I'll put this stuff back together, reassemble it, put it back in its box so it can go back to the supplier, who's been very good, not grizzling or complaining or whatever. As it happens, you know, I've fitted, I don't know, dozens of master cylinders. The first one I've ever had that's been faulty from the get-go, but whatever, it does happen. Oh my gosh, progress on the BMW. Right. Yes, that is unorthodox. No, you wouldn't normally do that. No, I don't think it's going to have any problems. That nut's on there with Loctite. That is done up FT. It's not going anywhere. And we talked about what I've done with the other end, which we can see in there. Look, you can actually see it. Amazing! It's going to be fine, right? So that's, in case anyone didn't catch up on what was happening, that's for our idle system, because this manifold was ordered without any idle control system on it. You can run the engines without it. It's not ideal. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be involved in one that's being set up without it for a road car. Someone posted and said, oh, I've had a one of those and its bigger brother and a something else for years and not had any problems. They were drift cars. This is a road car. Big difference. Anyway, so we need to, I don't even know where it is. We need to find the idle control thing. It's probably in there. I think I put it in there. It's out of the way. I'm not kicking around with that. Curse you. Need to get air into there via the idle control box thing. That's a box, by the way. That's my sign language for a box. And then it needs to come from down there on the intake pipe via this weld-on fitting, which we all do traditionally. You would normally just weld one of those onto here if you were going about that, or weld a plate and have the idle thing on the bottom of the hair. I didn't want to damage all the powder coating and just open a can of worms and cause lots of dramas, so that's why that was done like that. Looking at this, we talked about this, the heater valve. It's on this bracket here. We talked about maybe we can move that way or something to make more room to put the idle control valve here, because this would be a nice spot for that actually, rather than the heater control valve. Look how long these hoses are. So I was looking at that and I was like, well, that one's joined anyway, so that could do with being a bit shorter. And then I was like, take that off there. That's easy. Good start. Here's a bracket that it goes onto. It's cool. We don't actually need that bracket there anymore. That can disappear. There's heaps of room to get my drill in here with my spot weld removing tool. We can take that off, put it somewhere else, and then I'm looking at all this space that's under here, under where our inlet manifold goes. Heaps of height. I'm just going to put it over here. There's a couple of, there's a billion actually. There's a couple of bolt holes in the block, suitable for putting some sort of a bracket to hold our heater control valve. Just get it out of the way, over there somewhere. Bye-bye. Disappear, and then heaps and heaps of room to sort out our idle control system. Lots and lots. Nice and easy. So we can do that. Might have lunch first. One heater water pump valve bracket thingy. Ta-da! A bit like the factory one, but a bit not. It works. Doesn't fall off. It's good. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. Doesn't have to be. You won't see it. 3mm thick aluminium. Make it nice and strong. Some holes in the engine mount bracket down there, way down there. That's okay. I talked to the guy who built it, me. He said it was okay, so we can put that on there. Excuse the noise from our beautiful rain shine out there. That's that, more or less. I put an earth. I put a thread in there so we can put an earth on there for the harness, because I mean that's earth to the engine mount to the block, because there's no M6 bolt holes on the block on the side anywhere, and the terminals are M6 terminals, so it doesn't actually fit onto the engine as such, so I made it fit. So I'll put one there. There's the other one here. I might run a drill through that to M8 and use one of the other ones. That's M8. Cool. Now there's room for our idle control valve. Perfect. Exactly like I said it would be, except it's totally different. So I didn't put it there. As you can see, there's nothing there. That actually looks a lot nicer without anything there, and this needs to go black or maybe even be downsized to try and hide it a little bit. But I'll work on that. I won't charge him for that. He's already paid to have that done. I just want to make it look nicer. So it's good that that heater valve has moved. That's the tail end of it just there, and the plug is actually right there. Can you see it? My finger's on it anyway, so we can get the plug on that nice and easily. So it's good. That needed to be out of the way so you could actually get under here with a spanner to do up the fitting that's under the manifold there, because you're not going to get in there very easily through anywhere else. I can't actually, but oh yeah I can. I've got my hand on it through there, but you're not going to swing a spanner very easily. So it looks tidier, it's easier to work on, it's good. And in case you didn't spot it before, the idle control valve is right there. Made a nice little bracket for it that you can't really see unless you get on the right angle. There it is there. It supports it onto the chassis, and the plumbing goes where I said it would go, down there onto the fitting, which is accessible from there. There it is there. So that's pretty good. Did that. Job one, I think. Or have we done something? Oh, we've done a couple other things, but we've achieved something today. That's good. So next thing really is to, now that we have the idle control valve in the appropriate spot, we've got to change the plug on that. We can start adjusting the length of wires and things to get rid of this massive, much too much wire. We can shorten that up a lot, make things a lot nicer and betterer. It is windy and yucky outside. I'm getting withdrawals. I want to do something on that, but we can't. Unfortunately, that's in the air. It's a bit too hard to move that without brakes. Can't get this out from under this, so that's that. No March work today, never mind. Okay, something else. I figured out exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to have an early day for once. Alright, that's it. See you tomorrow. Cheers, bye.